What is popping? Merry Christmas. It is week 4. Oh no. No. Bring it back. Okay. This is our opponent and us this week. His team is very threatening. Yeah, we're gonna have to the idea was kind of like my initial idea was to try and out offense, because if you'll notice, his fastest mon is not the most bringable, and it also just speed ties Weavile, which will beat it, unless it wins like a para thing, or like it's like specs maybe. I think Weavile's tanky enough to take a random timid thunderbolt from it, I think. But I mean, that's not what we're relying on anyway. I mean, I guess I'll just get into the team. I really like this Primarina set with baby doll eyes. This is pretty much a hard counter to gouging fire. Psychic Noise will even go through sub, and finally we're using Liquid Voice, which is cool. And will prevent Morning Suns. The fact that it's slower means that it'll happen anyway, but we also have Toxic and stuff, and just there's and it would just do too much damage. And also we all within this one set exploit his need to run certain moves. He probably wants a dragon move for Flygon as opposed to sub, stuff like that, and so we can just Toxic anyway. Baby Doll Eyes as well rather than Haze is interesting for the priority, and yeah, Baby Doll Eyes does not go through sub, I don't believe, but Psychic Noise will. So all around, that's really good, and I believe our EVs make it so that at neutral he he doesn't 4-hit KO us. He's under 33%, I do believe. So that's cool. In testing, Air Balloon Heatran, keeping that balloon on it was crucial. So I had to play very carefully with my Heatran throughout testing to keep the balloon on it. Because look, Lando, I mean, it is Terra, and it has Focus Blast as well, and it has U-Turn. Deancey, all these things. With Flash, the idea is if he's Flash Fire and Earthquake, if he's Fire Move and Earthquake only, on gouging fire, then he can't touch us. And also, if he wants to pop, he has to, use a Dragon Move and stuff. So, yeah, overall, that should be really good. And, but we just have to be careful with it. Because if it gets popped, then we just get ran through, because he's got so much ground coverage. But before that, this is really cool. Pretty standard Zapdos. Yeah, we're especially defensive primarily for I guess for Meloetta and no, for Landorus. Yeah, we're a pretty solid Landorus check actually. Zapdos is all around a really cool Pokemon. Just the typing is just awesome, and it's helping us against so many different Pokemon. Incredible typing. We've got a Choice Band Terra Rock Virizion, which I think is cool. I really like this as a counter lead for Samurott and stuff, and just overall, if we get hit with Ceaseless Edge, we need to switch into Ceaseless Edge and punish him. Get to +1, and then smack stuff. Mega Horn there for Meloetta, and we'll also hit Samurott, just pretty hard Samurott counter all around. There's this Virizion. And I wanted to have something that had a lot of speed, and that's why we are running this Virizion, and I want him to be, offensive as well, just for, breaking him back, because he's not really that, you know, strong. I mean, he's really strong, but he's just not that tanky. So, yeah, we want to be able to just, you know, deal out some damage. Weavile, same idea. Baton Pass on Weavile is interesting, because, like, if, like, you know, Samurai is still around, we can click Baton Pass, or like, you know, like Gouging Fire. Just overall, you know, we can really use the momentum to get, like, Virizion in particular. And I'd like to get Heatran in as well, because we don't want to go hard Heatran. So that's the main idea, even though, you know, Low Kick is also a good click into, like, Samurai and stuff. So yeah, I believe this Low Kick will actually 2-hit Samurai. You wouldn't think it'd be that fat, but I think it does 2-hit. Even with boots, I could be wrong. Could just chunk it, but it's still good. And then Mega Audino. This was, I think, the last mod I chose. I don't really remember what I thought was good. I mean, Petrarite gets beat pretty easily. I think, yeah, I was maybe thinking about, like, Flygon, but, like, it just wasn't taking the hits. Flygon is... it's interesting because I used it earlier in this generation, and it was really good. I do think it has a good defensive profile still, but just hasn't been eating, you know, the hits, like in the calc that I'm hoping it will eat. So maybe I would like to change an approach to Flygon. We can't do any more transactions at this point that I'm recording this. Not that I would make any anyway. Flygon is a nice Gloomon. But it's a little bit exploitable, maybe. Not that exploitable. It's just like, you know, it just doesn't take hits. It does have Roost, and it does have, you know, priority and stuff. Which I just don't know if it has, like, because I just don't think it's been, like, power cut like that much, you know, since, like, when I was using it. I think, like, maybe it was, like, right when, like, Walking Away had just come out. Not sure, but at any rate, yeah, Audino is better for checking Mega Diancie in prep. Mega Diancie was all over my Zapdos and stuff. I just, you know, I didn't want to, you know, switch Veriz into it and, you know, take that risk or anything. Couldn't, you know, also risk my air balloon with Heatran on the Moonblast. So definitely, you know, Mega Audino to the rescue once again, because thing is just bulky as fuck. And also, it was on the team that I had with Flygon earlier in the generation, and Mega Audino is still putting in work. You know, I don't. It will do something in any matchup I have. Its main issue is simply, you know, what will it do? Because it has severe, like, 2 move slot syndrome, almost like 2 to 3 move slots, and it's not like it hits back. So it's, like, commonly toxic and stuff, but, like, there's a Mega Diancie here, so gotta be careful with that. But, like, that is why we've got Iron Tail on it. Ooh, big fat damage, and that could be fun. So let's get into it. Alright, so we've got the Blim here to counter our Veriz. We've got, yeah, the big threats. No Rillaboom, which is probably smart because I have, you know, Zapdos, and even, like, Virizion pretty much beats Rillaboom and stuff. Yeah, Meloetta is a big threat. No Kilowattrel is smart. I kind of thought Orthworm might come, and that could be a threat. Like, I kind of went Sacred Sword. Like, setup Orthworm was not going to be super easy to deal with. I mean, like, Tran is here, but, like, I was considering a lot of prep with that, you know, like with, like, Low Kick, like Weavile, like, was I gonna, you know, like, even bother bringing Weavile and stuff, when, like, I could bring, like, a fire move on Flygon and stuff like that. That was the idea. But no Orthworm, so that's cool. Blim instead, not really a threat because we have Terra Rock, which, by the way, has interesting defensive properties this time, especially because this thing gets flying coverage. I believe it gets both Air Slash and Air Cutter, both of which are boosted by Sharpness. So I look at this and I figure There is Samurott, and I could counter lead my Veriz, but I actually think using Zapdos is overall good into everything, except for maybe the Antsy, and then at that point, Mega Autono, and I guess maybe the Antsy could be a little bit like this is the most common lead, yeah, but like Zapdos is good in the majority. Okay. That's our lead, and I actually am going to throw off a Hurricane. I'm thinking it's safe. Like, he may not even want to stay in. It's going to hit Landorus, and, like, he shouldn't be, like, either that strong or that, like, fast, one or the other, right? So, let's throw off a Hurricane for damage. Ceaseless Edge doesn't 2-hit. And we go ahead and we Roost, because he is faster than us and we don't want to bother to like defog him and die, because this Pokemon is very, very valuable. Roost is very important for us to be there to get back to a good amount of health. And he actually Encores us. Okay, so now we're back at full though. So that's cool, we don't mind that. But it does mean Samurot's still around, but that's not that big a deal. We're gonna have to get these spikes off at some point, but like that's completely doable. We also have Balloon Tran and Boots Weavile, as well as Regenerator Autono, so it's not the biggest of deals. At any rate, I don't want to stay in and continue to Roost. So I'm thinking that he's just gonna Ceaseless Edge again. But he does not. He actually goes Diancie, interestingly enough. I wonder what that was on. You would think with Baby Beam be a Virizion. Of course, I am a Terra Captain, and I don't have the other Captain around, so I could pretty easily just, attack here. And Stone Edge is safe, right? Banded, I would be Terra Banded, so it would certainly 2-hit this thing, and it is possible and faster than this as well. Yeah, so this is annoying, and I am gonna get out. I'm gonna go into my check. Virizion, Audino, and he actually ends up going into Drifblim. On like a CC or a Leaf Blade, more likely, I guess. Yeah, I did have Stone Edge, and I could have gone for Stone Edge, and I would have gone for Stone Edge, because it's, the obvious play when he has a Blim around. But this is completely fine, too, because we will win against this as well, and we're going to get our Toxic off. We love just go ahead, guaranteeing that Toxic, guaranteeing, that timer on stuff. Sans Heal Bell. I believe this gets Heal Bell, or Diancie does. I'm not positive this does, it might. But at any rate, we're just never scared of Heal Bell. We just aren't. Like, it's like Trick Room at Envy. Like, even though it would appear to counter us, I just I think I play too aggressively for people, because I don't actually play stall, Like, Heal Bell would be good if I actually played stall, like everybody seems to think I do, but I don't. I play balance. Okay, yeah, I protect because this thing is commonly choiced, and indeed it is here. We didn't confirm that for real, but we're pretty sure. It does miss Zapdos, which is lucky, but not that big a deal, obviously. Now is our perfect time to get our defog off. Guarantee that. I don't know, here comes Power Jam. Okay, yeah. And the rocks are going to go up afterwards. If he had attacked, I would have Mega'd afterwards so I could live. But I got to go for an Iron Tail, but it did not. That's hit. It should have done somewhere in the 60-70 range. That is my cat playing with a bell that he just got for Christmas. Merry Christmas. Did I say Merry Christmas at the beginning of the video? This should be going up at the very, very end of Christmas on the West Coast. Should I get him to stop that? Maybe I should get him to stop that. Nah, whatever. If it'll be fine. He might get bored anyway. Okay. It's distracting me a little bit. But we wish, and then like this thing is terrifying, by the way. All right, that's it. All right. Hey, buddy, be quiet for a minute, okay? Okay. All right. So this thing is terrifying. No. Stop. Come at me. Start over. Okay. Are you gonna keep doing it? Okay. So this thing's terrifying. I don't want to stay in on this. His other terror captain was a Kilowattrel. So the yeah, we do wish we could protect, but you know it's just boring. And like wish, like I've been saying for a long time, is probably the best pivot move in the game. I mean, parting shot is up there too, but wish, like, it just allows you so much control, because you can pretty much go into whatever you want afterwards, and like, you know, it's like a slow fast pivot, because you get to make the choice before the turn. Like you get the wish up, and then you know you're safe. You can go into whatever you want. And yeah, so we are just gonna simply go Zapdos, because this is our check. And if he wants to, you know, Sludge Wave or something, that's fine. And he does U-turn. He doesn't get protective pads off. And he goes into his threat to my Zapdos. But I can simply go back into this infinity times. Wish up, and again, I can go into whatever I want, which is simply... I could have gone Primarina on that every time, no matter what anyway. And the rocks are not eating me alive at all, by any means. I've got boots on Zap, you know, the Wish and the lefties on Prim anyway. Boots on stuff. The hazards are really not that big of a threat. So, come on, play with this instead. Okay. But anyway, that works out for us. I think he's going Gooning Fire. He goes this on Toxic, I would assume. But, you know, we're definitely too canny to fall for that. So, just gonna, you know, go into something that checks Gouging Fire anyway, and then it also ends up checking the Mega Diancie for sure. We could throw off a Psychic Noise, and we do, actually. And that's cool. We don't even know if he's lefties. He very much could be. And we go ahead and we Toxic this as well. Very nice. And we Baby Doll Eyes. The tech comes out. Wonderful. Awesome. And we take absolutely 0 from that attack. Fantastic. We could spam Baby Doll Eyes, but what I think is better is to just Psychic Noise again, and that works out. Because, you know, he's very likely to, you know, switch out at that point and then try and come back later. And Psychic Noise is gonna, you know, go ahead and get his damage on anything, even Samurott, because again, it is a water type move here. And that smacking Landorus is very cool. And yeah, very nice. Also, check that out. No damage. I'm thinking he's protective pads to allow himself to U-turn freely off of Zapdos, because he right here does it again, and no para, and there was no hesitation on the click either. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pads rather than orb. which is interesting. And we go ahead and get the defog off. No more rocks. Of course, this thing does have rocks. It could get them up again if it wants. And that is my riskiest play of the game, maybe. I go ahead and risk Zapdos. Because I do have the chip on Landorus. I do have Weavile around. I just don't know if he wants to just, you know, Power Gem for like the 3rd time in a row. So yeah, and we want to go ahead and, like, you know, actually start, you know, like doing something here, and that is exactly what we do. We do live because he just Moonblasts and Triple Axle. I think I actually would have probably lived Power Gem, but I could be completely wrong. If Moonblast is 45 and we were at like 78% health, I think it actually is. There was at least like a roll to live. Power Gem, maybe something like that. And we go ahead and give it all 3 hits. Wonderful. This comes out. We know it's Scarf because of the way he brought it out. U-turn's fine. Would have chunked us, but you know, we go on the Focus Blast anyway. Here's this. Assume Sludge Wave. We can actually, yeah, because Zapdos is low, and also there's no more Mega DNC now, we can start using oughta no more freely. He certainly wouldn't have fighting Terra Blasted raw in there. So his U-turn there is fine. And we can protect. Nice U-turn crit, hit us really hard. Annoying. And we just do this, and he's content to take a little bit of damage. If I'm him, I double into Lando probably. But then I think I might just like, no, I probably don't stay in. I don't know. But at any rate, that doesn't happen. He just does Focus Blast. And we predict this coming in. We know, Draining Kiss is going to be fine into anything. It doesn't kill Lando, but, getting our health back is good too. And, yeah, Draining Kiss is all around the better move at this point, and it pays off because we end up taking out the Samurai. It was a kind of a, it was a risk, but like a very low risk play, high reward, to Draining Kiss there. And, so there's Meloetta. And we know this thing gets T-Bolt, and indeed we predict that. We go into our auto again. We just is eating hits after hit after hit after hit after hit. I should have made that the thumbnail, but the Baby Ball Eyes Primarina was too heat. But Audino is going insane in this game, and it's just a fantastic Pokemon in its base form or its Mega form. I could, have used the base form, but, I don't know if I explained it. I probably did, but, I like the knockoff switching. I like the option to turn into something else, and I think it's overall probably a little bit better than leftovers. Now, I do bemoan that I can use the eject button a lot of the time, because that would be really, really good. Pivoting momentum, but it's fine. So, yeah, just, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do the wish. Now we can go into whatever we want. And in fact, we can predict that he's not just going to Sludge Wave. And he does Terra Blast, and we live. What a weakling. Wow. In fact, how much did the Sludge Wave do before? I think it's maybe 22. Yeah, look at that, 22. And it's sheer force, so it can't get the poison. So this Terra does 20 and then 22, and okay, so maybe we would have died. I don't know if it was a min-roll or anything, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't the very min-roll, so there would have been, at least if he actually had predicted that, and got my Zapdos, which at this point we're pretty far ahead anyway, then I had a roll to live for sure. But we are back to a healthy chunk. Healthy chunk. Big damage. Volt switch. Red card. Interesting. So it's inverted now.
he doesn't have toxic, right? So I'm not sure what to do if I do have toxic. I'm gonna hold here. And yeah, psychic noise to, a bit more healing, just, keep spamming it, hit everything at this point, and actually getting a crit and taking this out. So wouldn't have mattered, because we could have done it again. Go ahead and run this every time. In fact, he isn't on land focus blast, it's gonna hurt. But the fact that he's choice means that we can do whatever we want, and he does miss again. And I just pushed at this point. And again, it's going to beat all three of these monsters by itself, but his damage was not switch at this point. He does pain split up. Doesn't mean anything. Much. And he actually with aftermath, which is interesting. The game's over at this point. We do triple axle, and we land both mischief hits. Toxic with 2%. And we go on, and that's going to be a 6. Oh, that was just a dismantling. I go back to the risky play of Zapdos staying in on PNC that one time. I think it was a little bit, of a read that he didn't want to, power gem again. I think he had the option to get a rocks at that point as well. I really thought he was going to rocks on my switch out. Considering that I switched out a million times, but he busted, interestingly enough. And it did get my Zapdos low, but my Zapdos lived like a champion. And this was a total team effort, except for Heatran with the balloon, which was really sweet. And it didn't even come out. Whereas he only came out once and didn't click any moves. So I basically won 4 on 6. So, I mean, definitely really solid win. And it was not a team that I thought was going to be pushed over by any means. Some real threats, like Gando, for sure. Broke it up a lot for could not get any damage down. Magic Fire was never going to beat us with the Primarina. And Autumn did crazy into